My name is Irene Mchuma Odem. On sign language interpretation, we have Lucy Mwaura. All right, the government has been urged to put in place proper disaster mitigation plans to address the issue of floods experienced in different parts of the country. According to Migori County Governor Dr. Ochilo Ayako, food aid to displaced families is not a sustainable solution.
Speaking during the distribution of relief aids to flood victims of Nyora and Kabuto villages within North Kadem and Nyatike, Migori County Governor Dr. Ochilo Ayako said there is a need to put in place proper disaster mitigation plans to end the floods in the country.
And we are engaging the national government through the county commissioner so that we can pool resources together and attend to the needs of our people in a time.
He noted that food aid and other goodies issued to displaced families is not a suitable solution to cushion the families from natural calamities, saying both the county and national governments have to work together to mitigate the effects of long rain.
County government and the national government must work together towards eliminating the recurrence of these invasive floods through using the water that comes from our rivers for irrigation.
Close to 3,000 households have been affected by the long rains, with others left in the cold since the rain started.
With these floods that are coming, people's shambas have been swept by floods. They don't have anything to plant in their stomach.
Lakini tunakufia maji, serikali utusaidie. Ona vile tunafanana tu, utusaidie na chochote unayo, utusaidie hapa, tunakufia maji.
Nimepoteza ng'ombe 2, nyumba yangu pia imeanguka. Alafu mimi mwenyewe pia nimefiliwa, mtoto wangu alikuwa amekufa, nikamzika tu kwa maji.
Pauline Simil for Lunchtime News.
Tuk-tuk and bodaboda operators in Kitengela, Kajiado County took to the streets barricading Namanga in a display of competition-driven tension. The protest was sparked by what the operators termed as unfair competition from minibuses, disrupting their long-standing dominance along the Kitengela-Muigai-Korompoi route. They accused the minibus operators of unfair competition, saying they have reduced fares from 70 shillings to 30 shillings.
Tunaudhika sana na uongozi wa Bruce. Kwa sababu basi ni ya kufanya kutoka kwa Shimo kwenda Nairobi. Saa hii amepeleka basi kwa estate. Estate basi inabeba kutoka Cusco, inakuja Kenpipe along Namanga Road, Old Namanga Road. Hakuna kazi yenye pikipiki tunafanya.
Sisi kama stakeholders tunahitaji kuzungumziwa na huyo Bruce. Na saa hii hatufungui.
Hata wiki mzima.
Hatufungui, hata kama ni wiki mbili tutafunga.
Saudi Arabia is known to be an employment hub for foreigners drawn from different parts of the world. The foreign workforce in the Gulf nation includes Kenyans who are employed in various sectors. Take a look. At the recent Saudi Africa Summit in Riyadh, the KBC crew met 3 Kenyans from Mombasa County who eke a living from the transport sector.
Naitwa Ridha Abdullahi Ridha, natoka Mombasa.
Kwa majina naitwa Miss Faiz, natokea Mombasa, Kenya.
Anwar Awad, nimetoka Mombasa, nimekuja Saudi kufanya kazi.
Hamis Faiz, Ridha Abdullahi Rifa and Awadha Anwar Awad were among bus drivers assigned to ferry delegates from King Khalid International Airport in Riyadh to the summit venue and its environs.
Na hapa niko na Sapco Company, Saudi Public Transport, kama dereva.
Mimi hapa Saudia nimekuja ni dereva wa bus driver official.
Nafanya kazi ya dereva kwa kampuni Sapco.
The trio view Saudi Arabia as their second home. They say, just like any other jurisdiction, crime is frowned upon.
Sheria ni hivi, si ukweli. Kila mtu ana sheria zake, na kila mtu ana kanuni zake, na kila mtu ana katiba yake. Hata tukiwa Kenya pia, ile katiba ukikosea itakuhukumu kulingana na ilivyowekwa sheria.
kuja Saudia alafu unadanganywa unakimbia, ukienda nje ya nchi, ukienda nje ya mahali ambao unafanyia kazi, ndio pale ukisikia kuna msako ukishikwa, alafu watu wanasema Saudi ni mbaya. Saudi si mbaya, Saudi ni nzuri kabisa, ila tu uzingatie ni kitu gani ambacho kimekuleta Saudia. Kama ni kazi, fanya kazi.
Wakina dada mkija hapa, mnaenda kufanya kazi kwa nyumba, baadaye ushajuana na wenzako, wapigwa simu ambia mimi nateswa bana huko. Fanya hivi, wacha passport yako, wacha kila kitu, tafuta njia, ukimbie njoo. Hiyo ndo sasa shida. Mnaenda mnakaa Kemboi, baadaye mnasema Saudi tunateswa.
They advise compatriots seeking job opportunities in the Gulf nation to adhere to the terms and conditions.
President Ruto amefanya kazi nzuri sana. Kwa hiyo opportunity ambayo ametoa Saudia, 350,000 vacant job ambayo atapewa hapa. Jamaa, John, tufanyeni kazi bwana.
Hamis Faiz, Ridha Abdullahi Rifa and Awadha Anwar Awadh are among thousands of Kenyans who work in Saudi Arabia. Many more will join them, as assured recently by President William Ruto. Preparations for the annual Lamu Cultural Festival are in top gear, with over 30,000 guests expected this year. Area Governor Issa Timami says apart from the normal festival activities, they'll be introducing beach football and a triathlon competition to boost the experience of locals and tourists. The event is set to be held from November 30th to December 2nd and is also expected to boost Lamu's economy through tourism.
The annual Lamu Cultural Festival that has over the years attracted local and international tourists to be bigger this year, with the county government preparing to host over 30,000 guests. Lamu County boss Issa Timami says accommodation and security are top priorities to ensure those coming have a memorable experience.
I am inviting all Kenyans and also non-Kenyans to come and join us during these 3 days of the Lamu Cultural Festival.
Activities associated with the festival include dar racing, cultural showdown, cuisine and island exploration. The county is in the process of sourcing funds to ensure the festival's success.
Tunaona Lamu sasa hivi imekuwa salama, watu wengi wanakuja na kurudi kutumia barabara. Hata hivyo pia tunaona ndege pia zinafanya kazi yake ya kuleta wageni. Sisi kama utamaduni tumeweza kupangilia siku 3 kwa mashindano mbalimbali.
Wanapokuja tuna showcase si culture pekee yake, lakini pia tuna showcase opportunities za investments ambazo ziko hapa Lamu. Kwa mfano, Lamu ni mahali ambapo ni kuzuri kwa mambo ya blue economy.
Youth have been called upon to cooperate and ensure the region's culture is promoted as Lamu County stands to gain economically from the festival. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
And on that bit by Yusufara, we are taking our first commercial break. We'll be back with more news, including sports and business. Stay with us.
Wewe, weekendi ni ya kazi.
Beba, weekendi ya kazi wewe, weekendi ya kazi. Weekendi ni ya kazi.
Weekendi ya kazi.
Zima na washe. From 1st August, upgrade to the brand new Super Plus package to enjoy all the Premier League action and much more. Go TV. Love it.
The Institution of Engineers of Kenya with partners invites you to the 30th IEK International Convention to be held from 14th to 17th November 2023 at Pride in Paradise Resort, Mombasa. The theme of the convention is Engineering a New World. Over 4,000 delegates across all sectors in the engineering fraternity are expected to attend both physically and virtually. Register, attend, learn, network. You can't afford to miss out. Follow this event live on KBC Channel 1, our official media partner, on the 15th and 17th of November 2023.
You are the most amazing man I love you, Daniel Otero.
No.
Wait, what are you going to do?
I'm going to turn
no,
myself
Anibal,
on.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
turn
no.
myself in.
I said no.
I want you to leave San Juan and never show your face here again.
When Daniel found out that Carolina was having a baby, he was dating Isabel, and he broke up with her just to go back to Carolina.
Is it true that you had a secret affair with Isabel? Yes, it's true. This hypocrite of my wife cheated on me with Danielle.
Welcome back. Glad you're watching the Lunchtime News. To security concerns, peace efforts in the North Rift region got a major boost after the West Pokot's Governor Simon Kachapin signed the Peace Building and Conflict Management Bill into law after approval by the County Assembly. The law allows the county government to fund the fight against banditry and also sponsor peace programs.
West Pokot Governor Simon Kachapin praised the County Assembly for passing the bill, now law, saying it will allow setting aside of funds to boost security along the borders of West Pokot. Kachapin declared that perennial border conflicts and cattle rustling in the North Rift region have left many people dead and others displaced, and it was time to curb it.
So we found it necessary so that we have a better coordination on issues of peace. Because over time, it's only the national government which has been coordinating on issues of peace. So we have been operating on an ad hoc way. And I think this bill will go a long way to give us a better strategy on how we can deal with issues of conflict.
He added that the county is in the process of creating a directorate that will specifically be involved in coordinating peace-building programs and conflict resolution mechanisms in the region.
We have been having challenges along our borders and many other places. So it's just putting structures into the county on how we address these issues of insecurity. So they are all contained in the bill, and it gives also powers. It generates some committees also, so that they can be a formal way of addressing conflicts within our borders.
Tutakuwa na directorate ya peace ambayo watakuwa wakifanya kazi ya kila siku kutoka Monday to Friday, na hata siku za weekend watakuwa wanaangalia. Na pia hiyo sheria ina propose kwamba tutakuwa na kitu inaitwa county situation room ambayo matukio yote ya kiusalama yakitokezea yatakuwa yanaripotiwa hapo. Ndio hiyo habari ikifika hapo pia itaweza kusambazwa kwa wale wakubwa ambao wanahusika kwa maneno ya amani.
Giverson Minor, Lunchtime News.
Integrated internally displaced persons in Kianjogu Jericho refugee camp in Salama Ward, Laikipia County breathed a sigh of relief after a group of business people from Nairobi County donated foodstuff and clothing. The intervention follows the recent story aired on KBC Channel 1 about their plight. Speaking during the visit, the patron of Kikuyu Council of Elders, Nairobi branch, Frederick Waweru, urged the government to speed up the process of resettling all IDPs, and on his part, National Chair Kikuyu Council of Elders Wachira Wakiago expressed disbelief at the plight of the IDPs, while also faulting elected leaders for what he termed neglect of the vulnerable group.
I'm now appealing to the national government. I'm appealing to the county government. I'm appealing to the president and the deputy president. I'm appealing to every well-wisher to come and assist these people and any other people who are living in such horrible condition.
Surely, kama kuna mtu anajua anakaa vizuri wakati watu wetu wanakaa kwa hii shida yote, na sana sana ni hizi viongozi wetu from Laikipia, from national government. Ni vibaya sana kama mtu ananyeshewa. Kuna watoto wadogo sana nimeona wameteseka hapa.
Welcome to Channel 1 Business. Over 20,000 smallholder dairy farmers in Nakuru County have been trained on production of animal feed under the National Agriculture and Rural Inclusive Growth Project in efforts to reduce the cost of production. The project's Nakuru County Coordinator Njoroge Githunguri says animal feed constitutes 60% of the total cost of livestock and aquaculture farming.
The National Agriculture and Rural Inclusive Growth Project, which is being implemented by the national government in partnership with the World Bank, is expected to come to a close in March next year. The project targeted rural communities in Nakuru, Turkana, Makueni, Meru, Kitui, Embu, Kilifi, Kwale, Narok, Kirinyaga and Murang'a counties. Among the project funded through NARIP is the 117 million shillings cold room in Muchoro, Nakuru County, aimed at reducing potato harvest losses to reduce exploitation by middlemen.
We want to see this funding being of great benefit to community members by improving agricultural production, food security, nutritional status, and improve environmental resilience.
Githunguri says under the project, 20,533 smallholder dairy farmers have been trained and equipped to produce animal feeds, which constitute about 60% of the cost of livestock production.
NARIC project has received about 700 million in the county since the inception of the project in 2018. Some of the farmer groups now have been able to do their own on-farm feed formulations, whether they are feeding their dairy animals, whether they are feeding their poultry.
Edna Murungi for Lunchtime News.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says 4 billion shillings in additional funding has been committed to the Coffee Cherry Advance Revolving Fund for onward lending to coffee value chain players at low rate interest. This brings the total Coffee Cherry Advance Revolving Fund to 6.74 billion shillings. Gachagua says the government is committed to the successful implementation of the coffee reforms.
Cherry Advance Revolving Fund Kitty has been increased to 6.74 billion shillings after the government approved an additional 4 billion shillings to the kitty. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says the government is exploring ways to make the kitty bigger.
These reforms must succeed and they must go on, and that is why the President and I convinced Cabinet to set aside 4 billion shillings to enhance the Cherry Fund so that we can intervene in this period for the farmer.
The intervention of 4 billion shillings, in addition to the existing 2.74 billion shillings, has gone a long way to create interest in this value chain. Farmers are happy and they're really, really expectant.
The Deputy President Monday morning held a briefing with the coffee stakeholders led by Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development on disbursement of additional Coffee Cherry Advanced Revolving Fund. The meeting is the final of a series of consultations before the release of the Coffee Cherry Advanced Revolving Fund. Gachagua is positive that the coffee reforms will materialize and that farmers will soon enjoy their much-deserved returns.
This thing we must win because it used to work then and nothing has changed. The farmers are the same, the soils are the same, the environment is the same. It's only when we liberalized, the private people came and then they should change the farmer.
He says the government has prioritized coffee reforms as a key strategy to revitalize the coffee sector and increase production and productivity. Alan Oko, Lunchtime News.
A section of engineers have converged in the county of Mombasa for a 4-day forum. My colleague Regina Manyara is with the engineers down at the coast. Regina, good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Irene. Indeed, we are live in Mombasa for the 30th IEK International Convention that is going to be running for the next 4 days. Today was day one, and the conversation and the two activities that have been taking place is all around inclusivity. We're talking about women in engineering. What is holding them back from participating more in this particular space, where statistics indicate only 15% of registered engineers in the country are women? The other question is, what does the future portend for engineering? And this is where the youth and the young budding engineers come in. Why haven't they taken up opportunities after studying engineering? And to put this into perspective, we have former IEK President, Engineer Nathaniel Matalanga, to let us know what he thinks about this year's theme and those two challenges that we have highlighted. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Regina. Thank you very much for having me. We at the Institution of Engineers of Kenya are working very hard, and that's why we are having this conversation on this first day of the 30th IEK International Conference to ensure that we bring on board many women into engineering. We're also trying to encourage young people, especially women, to take STEM courses so that they have a career. It is possible for them to have a career in engineering. The challenges that we are facing does not only affect women, but affects all young people who are graduating from engineering schools. Because previously, when you went to university to study engineering, you are assured that on graduation, you are going to be employed by the government. But for some reason, the government, listening to the World Bank, stopped direct employment of graduate engineers. They stopped the annual employment. You see that in the police force, there is an annual recruitment. In the army, in the teachers, but in engineering, this has stopped happening. And that's what's affecting us and stopping the progression of students who are graduating from engineering schools into transitioning to become professional engineers. The teaching of engineering in Kenya takes 5 years at university. And after that, you are supposed to go to internship. You are supposed to go through internship for 3 years before you are able to register as a professional engineer. And for some reason, if you don't get a job to practice for 3 years, you don't qualify to be registered as a professional engineer. So we are urging our government to support us in ensuring that all government projects, they are able to set aside a budget for internship so that students, especially women who are graduating from engineering schools, are able to secure a steady job for at least 3 years to be able to practice, get a sufficient experience to be able to get registered as professional engineers. At the institution, this is key to us because you know that if we don't grow the critical mass of creating enough engineers in our country, we are not able to generate the critical mass that is supposed to help our country move forward in the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goal. Engineering is at the center of this, and Kenya as a country cannot be developed by foreigners. We need ourselves, our own local people, to be able to be trained, to be able to fill this gap for us. At the moment, the numbers are very low. Based on the UNESCO ratio, we require to have one engineer for 5,000 people. But at the moment, maybe we have one to about 25,000, which is very low. So we need to be able to grow this number to be able to attain the critical mass of engineers. Thank you.
Well, Mchuma, there you have it. This is a convention that is going to be running for the next 4 days, where the theme for this year is Engineering a New Era. And for that, a call for, have more inclusion, especially for women and youth, relying on government to change some of the policies and have them support this particular noble profession that has been termed as a game changer, because engineering is problem solving. Tomorrow, we're going to have none other than Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua officiating this particular convention. So we keep tabs on what is going to be discussed here and the way forward for engineering. Now back to you, Broadcasting House.
Thank you, Regina. Regina Manyara giving us an update down from Mombasa County. Across the borders, oil prices rose by more than 1% on Monday after the Organization of Oil Producers monthly market report eased market concerns about waning demand in the United States and China. Here now are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe.
futures went up $1.25 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures to $1.24. OPEC made a slight increase to its 2023 focus for global oil demand growth and stuck to its relatively high 2024 prediction. The OPEC monthly oil market report appeared to push back against demand concerns, referencing overblown negative sentiment around Chinese demand while raising demand growth forecasts for this year and leaving them unchanged for next. OPEC Plus confirmed they will continue with additional voluntary oil output cuts until the end of the year as concerns over demand and economic growth continue to drag on crude markets. Elsewhere, electric vehicle startup Fisker slashed its 2023 production guidance on Monday as it struggled to ramp up deliveries and flagged weakness in internal controls over financial reporting, sending its shares down 14% after the bell. Fisker expects a production of 13,000 to 17,000 electric vehicles in 2023, down from its prior projection. Fisker's production cut comes amid fears of a slowdown in electric vehicles demand due to high interest rates meant to cool stubborn inflation, which is soaring consumer sentiment. Electric vehicle makers have resorted to price cuts after market leader Tesla started a profit-sapping price war in January to stoke demand. Finally, Avon is set to launch physical shops in the UK, Brazil and South Africa. The UK stores, expected to open over the next 2 months, will be based in neighborhood communities and will be mini beauty boutiques, showcasing a selection from Avon's range. The company is also expanding its presence in Superdrug stores, following a tie-up in September which sees Avon products sold in selected branches of the pharmacy chain. Avon's experience in Turkey suggests that physical stores could boost business for local door-to-door sales reps, which would be offered training to run the new outlets as franchises.
Welcome to Channel 1 Sports News. The national under-20 women's soccer team, Rising Starlets, intensified training ahead of the second leg of the third round of FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers against Cameroon on Saturday in Nairobi. The indomitable Lionesses are expected to jet into the country this afternoon ahead of the crucial encounter.
National Under-20 Women's Soccer Team Rising Starlets stepped up training in preparation for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers against the indomitable Lionesses this Saturday. Beldino Demba's Chargers were defeated 3-0 in the first leg of the qualifiers played in Cameroon. The team now has an uphill task of scoring more than 3 goals against indomitable Lioness. Cameroon is expected to jet in the country this afternoon ahead of the encounter. The aggregate winner of the tie will face the winner of the match between Congo and Egypt. The aggregate winner of the round will gain qualification for the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup to be held in Colombia. For Lunchtime News, I'm Sila Onyango.
Wimbledon champion Carlos Alcaraz suffered defeat on his ATP Finals debut as Alexander Zverev fought back to win 6-7, 6-3, 6-4 in Turin, Italy. It was the first time the 20-year-old Spaniard has lost 3 matches in a row since March 2021 when he was ranked outside the world's top 100.
He's pulled it wide.
Wimbledon champion Alcaraz lost 6-7, 6-3, 6-4 to Germany's Zverev, who won the event in 2018 and 2021. It was the first time the 20-year-old Spaniard lost 3 matches in a row since March 2021, when he was ranked outside the world's top 100.
Just too good. It's the break.
In another match, third seed Daniil Medvedev beat fellow Russian Andrei Rublev 6-4, 6-2. In the doubles, Brighton Joe Saribari and American partner Rajev Ram made a winning start to their title defense with a 6-3, 6-4 victory of Australian Matthew Eden and Rohan Bopan of India. Britain's Niall Skupski and Dutch partner Wesley Kohov, who are playing the final tournament together, began their campaign with a 6-3, 6-4 win of Australian Jason Kubler and Rinki Hijikata.
Rising at times, the quality from the back of the court, the movement, the ball striking, the serving.